Hey everybody, today I want to talk about an often overlooked part of the YouTube process, which is all the stuff you need to do after you upload your videos if you want to give them a fighting chance against the competition out there. Uploading your video really is only half the battle, so in this video I'm going to share 7 essential steps you need to take right after you hit that upload button to ensure that your content reaches its full potential. Stick around, here we go. All right, let's start with the title. Your video won't go live without one, and that's a good thing. It forces you to think strategically. What will actually happen is when you upload your video, it will automatically fill in the title box with the file name for your video. And there's some people who think that that file name on the video should match the title that you pick in advance anyway, and whether or not that helps the YouTube algorithm decide who to show your video to. I'm not convinced. I think there are better ways to select a title, and I don't know that they necessarily need to match up, but that is a strategy that's out there. But regardless, you do have to select a title that somebody is going to be willing to click on. So think about how you could craft a really magnetic title. Spend some time brainstorming several options and aim for clickbait, essentially, a blend of curiosity and clarity, of course. And remember, a catchy title should also include relevant keywords for search optimization, but steer clear of overloading them. You don't want to stuff too many in there. Testing is going to be a part of this process anyway, so don't be afraid to tweak your title a little bit because you're probably going to do it later anyway to really optimize it. YouTube allows you to update it at any time, so consider testing some variations to see which one performs best. You're not going to know right away, but watch your video for a few days, and if it's not doing what you expect it to do, especially if you have a smaller channel and it's not getting any views, I would say give it about a week and then try a different title. Now here's a little tip. I use VidIQ for title suggestions, which is an AI-driven tool that will give you a score for your title based on how well the AI thinks it might do. So then you can make easier decisions about testing different titles with different trending keywords in your niche. Again, it might take a few attempts, but getting that title right and making it great is really key to grabbing attention. And just remember to save your title settings once you're happy with them, because if you see that save button highlighted up on the top of your screen, that means it hasn't been saved yet. You want to click that so your changes are actually going to stick. Otherwise, you got to go back and start all over again. Next up is your description. And here's why descriptions matter. YouTube uses your description to understand what your video is about. So you really need to use this space wisely because it's going to help YouTube get to know who to show your video to, especially if you're running a small channel. You need to give YouTube as much information as possible to help the system understand who your audience might be. So how do you craft a really good description? Write a pretty concise paragraph that outlines what viewers can expect and include a few targeted keywords so it all flows naturally. Again, don't stuff the keywords in there. And by the way, VidIQ has an AI tool for description suggestions based on keywords that you want to target. And it's really great, but I'll often use ChatGPT for this, especially if I have a script for my video. I'll just give ChatGPT my title and my script to work from, and I'll ask it to produce a well-optimized description for that video. And then I'll usually edit that description a bit until I'm happy with it, and then you can feel free to add links to related content or your social channels or to maybe some digital products and services you might be offering for sale to your audience, or affiliate links if you're monetizing your channel that way, which I think is a great way for smaller channels to start out and earn a few dollars for their efforts. If you do that though, you should probably add a disclaimer if you use affiliate links. I'm no lawyer, but it's very simple to do that, to disclose that you might be earning a commission for recommending a product. I also think it's best to only share affiliate links for the things you can vouch for or that you've done some research on. So for example, I've mentioned VidIQ in this video a couple times now at least, and it's not a sponsored video, but I do use VidIQ all the time and I find it valuable to me. So I share an affiliate link for VidIQ in many of my descriptions because I do think that it would be valuable to my audience as well. Now, I'm not sure how many people actually read through the entire description, but just in case you do want to keep it engaging, so think of it like a mini pitch. It really should invite viewers to dive into the video and explore more of your content. And remember, you can always update your description later as your channel grows and your strategy evolves. Now let's talk about end screens. So end screens are a powerful tool to keep your viewers engaged after your video ends. That's the videos that pop up on the screen at the end of your video, and they can click on those and move on to the next one on your channel. And you can actually link to videos on somebody else's channel if you want to, or you can encourage people to subscribe, or you can promote external links. So to get it set up, it's going to walk you through that as part of the upload process anyway, but you can go back into your video's end screen editor at any point and choose from the available elements. And that might be a recent upload or a curated playlist or even a subscribe button. There's a whole bunch of options there for you to choose from. If your video is long enough, you can incorporate multiple elements without overcrowding the screen, and you can just position them carefully to avoid overlaps. And remember, again, as your channel evolves, you've got some flexibility here, so you can always go in and change those end screens to highlight different videos or offers if those change for you down the road. The point is that using end screens effectively is really like giving your viewers a roadmap to what to watch next or what to do next. Next, you're going to want to customize your thumbnail for the video, for every video that you upload. A compelling thumbnail is your video's first impression, and YouTube will auto-generate a few options, but it seems that custom thumbnails are quite often more engaging, and you'll see most of the big creators definitely create their own thumbnails if they're not outsourcing it to a thumbnail designer. So what you want to do is create a high-quality image that complements your title and your content so that everything works together to convince people to click on and watch your video. Bold colors can work really well, and sometimes text is necessary, sometimes it's not. If your image tells the story about what's in the video, you might not need to use any text. But if you do, I recommend keeping that to a minimum, like maybe 3 to 5 words at the most, because you don't want it to take up too much space on your thumbnail. And of course, just like testing your different titles and descriptions, you can also test multiple thumbnails. And if you're not sure which thumbnail is going to perform best, maybe create a few and upload a few to see which one drives more clicks. But quite honestly, if you've got a smaller channel, you're probably not going to get enough traffic to your videos yet to effectively use the split testing feature that YouTube has there, where you can upload 3 different thumbnails and have YouTube sort of figure out which one's going to perform. So just focus on making a really good thumbnail to get started with, and you can again change that down the road if you feel like you want to test something different and see if it'll perform better. Of course, once you're happy with your thumbnail, you want to remember to hit save, just like with all of these other elements, and lock it in. Your thumbnail is the first hook, so make it count. Make sure it stays there so it does count for you, and then change it up down the road. One other reason you might want to change it up at some point is if your video kind of plateaus, like it might do really well to start with, and you might get a lot of views. You might surprise yourself, in fact, with some videos that get a lot of views, especially on a smaller channel. But eventually it might kind of taper off, and that can be an indicator to try some different things like changing the title or changing the thumbnail. Now, once you have a few videos on your channel, you're going to want to start to categorize them a little bit and organize them in playlists. Playlists aren't just for binge watching, they're actually a key part of the opportunity to organize your channel. So Group similar videos together and create what is essentially going to be a cohesive viewing experience for your audience. So for instance, you might have one playlist dedicated to YouTube tips, which I do on this channel. And you might have another for online business, and you might have one for product reviews. Really, it just depends on your niche and what kinds of videos you're doing. But look for the patterns and group those videos together. The big benefit of doing this is that playlists help improve watch time. And they make it easier for your audience to find related content. But the watch time is the big thing here. You need to get those 4,000 hours if you do want to monetize at some point. And so they can really help keep people watching your channel. So how do you set that up? Well, as you go through the upload process, you'll see that there's a drop-down menu that lets you add a video to a playlist. And if you click on that and you don't have a playlist yet, then you're going to want to create a playlist. And you do that very easily by giving that playlist a title and a description in the exact same way that you do for every video. Of course, you want to optimize those in the same way that you do for every video as well. And then start adding videos that make sense for that playlist. And when you decide that you've got some videos for different categories, create a new playlist each time that happens for you. This is a really easy step, but it can boost your channel's overall engagement and retention hugely, so it's well worth doing. So now your video looks great and you've got some playlists set up. It's time to decide who sees your videos. You can choose from a few options here. You can choose from public, which is the default, I think, unlisted, private, or scheduled. And scheduled is what you're going to want to go with. There's some strategy behind that. If you're actually planning a premiere or you have a specific release strategy, then scheduling your video is going to be the best option anyway, because it allows you to build up some anticipation and notify your community in advance. That's great if you have a community already. If you're a smaller channel though and you're just building, you're probably not as concerned about that, but you want to be able to batch create videos and upload videos in batches and schedule them to release periodically, so you're not flooding your channel, but you're also giving your audience a constant taste of your content. So initially set your video to upload as private or unlisted. I know I do mine as unlisted, and I know there's people that say that you should do it as unlisted or you should do it as private because the algorithm likes one or the other. I haven't seen that yet, but my channel's still fairly small, so I guess we'll see how that goes as we move forward. But ultimately, you want to be able to schedule for the very best times possible on your channel. How do you know what the best time is? Well, after a while, you'll be able to see when those times are that are ideal to schedule those videos to go public. And once again, VidIQ helps make this fairly easy by showing you the best times based on when your audience is spending time on YouTube. So when you see that, let's say, for example, my best audience times on Wednesday are between noon and 2 p.m. Well, then I'll probably schedule my video to go public, to change from unlisted to public at 11:45 a.m. So then when my audience starts to come onto YouTube at noon, they can see that, yeah, I've uploaded a new video and, oh yeah, maybe I want to check that one out. Now let's talk about comments, your direct line to your audience. Kick off the conversation by posting a pinned comment. This could be a question or a prompt encouraging viewers to share their thoughts. Why is this important? Well, comments signal to YouTube that your video is engaging, and even a few interactions can boost your video's ranking. So that's why you see most creators asking audiences to like and subscribe and comment about things on their videos. These things are important to everyone, but it is definitely very important for smaller channels. So how do you manage it? Well, you're likely not going to be overwhelmed with comments initially, but as comments start rolling in, you'll want to try to be as responsive as possible. So reply and engage with your audience and aim to do that within 24 hours of a person making a comment on your video. This will help you build community, and it can even guide future content ideas. You can take those comments and generate new ideas for new videos. So a little bonus tip, you can use a pinned comment to share additional resources as well, such as links to related videos, which you want to keep people watching, so that's another great strategy. Or you could use them to refer people to an affiliate offer as well. I know I need to make better use of the pinned comment strategy myself. I'm not very good at that. It's just a subtle nudge to keep the conversation and the engagement flowing. Clearly, engagement doesn't stop at upload. You want to keep the dialogue open to foster that loyal community and hopefully build that community going forward. So basically, with every new video upload, you're going to want to review your work. So before you finalize, double check all the sections from your title to the visibility sections and the thumbnail and the end screens. Ensure everything is set up perfectly. And you're going to want to keep experimenting because YouTube is always evolving. So just don't be afraid to test different approaches, whether it's tweaking your thumbnail or adjusting the end screens, whatever it might be. Stay organized. I know it can take a little more time to go through these things, but a little bit of extra effort after every upload can make a huge difference in how your video performs over a longer period of time. Every step you take after hitting upload really is a building block towards more reach for your channel, more reach for your videos, and a more engaging, successful channel. If you found these tips helpful, give this video a thumbs up for me and share it with fellow creators who might benefit. We are all learning together here, so I'd love to hear your post-upload strategies. So drop a comment below and let's chat about that. And don't forget to subscribe for more actionable tips on growing your YouTube channel. I really appreciate you being here and watching, and I hope you find these next couple of videos really useful for you as well. I will see you there.